Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's going on? So I just saw Terrence Crawford's interview with Teddy Atlas. Real good interview. Said he talked about a few different things. They asked some really good questions. So y'all go check that out if you haven't already. It's a good interview to watch just to kind of see where Terrence Crawford's mindset is as far as his upcoming fight or possible matchup with Shawn Porter. That's basically what we're talking about in this video. And then also what he thought about Earl Spence and Pacquiao's fight that was supposed to happen. Obviously, that interview was shot before the fight got canceled because they were speaking as if the fight was still on, but he also talking about the possibility of fighting Earl Spence in the near future. But I want to talk about an article that I read basically saying that Top Rank and PBC, they're really not making any progress on agreeing to a deal for Crawford and Porter, which that's what I expected to happen. I expected Bob Arum, number one, to be extremely cheap and not want to sponsor the fight himself, not want to fund the fight, pay Crawford his money, and then pay Shawn Porter a reasonable amount for him to go over and have that fight on ESPN and Top Rank. I knew that wasn't going to happen off top. You know what I'm saying? Bob has told you and me many times that he doesn't view Terrence Crawford as a star, a moneymaker, and he doesn't think it's worth it to pay guys other than Amir Khan, who he gave $7 million to. He doesn't think it's worth it to pay anybody else to come over there and fight Terrence Crawford. So he gonna make sure Crawford get his guaranteed $3 million, but he ain't paying nobody else shit. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that wasn't gonna happen. And then two, I knew the likelihood of PBC and Top Rank doing a joint venture on a fight like this, which is a great fight for hardcore boxing fans, but it's not a box office fight. It's not a mega fight. It's not a huge fight that two entities can come together on and both make hella money. It ain't Wilder versus Fury. It ain't Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. So I knew that was not likely to happen. So it's going to purse bid. They're saying that this fight is down there inevitable, that it's going to go to purse bid. They running out of time. I think they got like a week or a couple of weeks left. It's something like that, but they running out of time to come up with a deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to go to purse bid. Now, this is also good because, number one, whoever wins, no matter who it is, it could be Top Rank, it could be PBC, it could be Triller, it could be DAZN, it could be any of these people who put their hat in and try to get this particular fight and put this on. Now, of course, I'm naming networks and shit, but you know, there's promoters that come with these networks like DAZN. You got Matchroom, they work with them. Golden Boy works with them. You got, PBC, which is management is / network. They like all purpose. They really doing some whole other shit at PBC, you know what I'm saying? But they working with Showtime and they working with Fox. And then Triller, they own entity. And then of course you got PBC who works through ESPN. So anybody can really pick this fight up, and it could be a power move by PBC to say, hey, look, I'm not, it ain't really worth it for us to do no joint venture with y'all, but if it go to purse bid shit, we can put all our bread behind it, and then we can bring it over to PBC, let Terrence Crawford kind of see how we do business over here, treat him real nice, roll out the red carpet for him, treat him like the true champion that he is, show him that, hey, this is how we treat our champions over here, you know what I'm saying? Come fuck with us. Of course, Shawn Porter gonna get his respect as well. They pay Terrence Crawford good. It's gonna be I forget this, I think it's 60-40 for the purse bid split. So Terrence Crawford gonna get his 60% and Shawn Porter gonna get his 40%. And depending on how much money is in the pot, they can make a nice amount of money on this. But what I really wanted to talk about is Terrence Crawford and Shawn Porter, those guys being like buddy, You know, that's my friend. I don't want to fight him. Both guys have said this out their mouth, like, oh, you know, we cool. We never really had any ideas or thoughts about fighting each other because, you know, I'm cool with him and this and that. And till recently, it wasn't really any type of movement on a potential fight between these guys. Now, Sean Porter said some things on the internet about, oh yeah, you know, I'm ready for the fight with Terrence Crawford. Then when shit started to get actually close to possibly happening, you had Sean Porter deleting tweets and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it was looking real weird on his side. Like, bruh, okay, now that the fight is possibly a real thing, what you deleting tweets for? Like, was you just capping because you thought the shit wasn't gonna happen? Or, you know, did you really feel how you felt? You got Terrence Crawford, who wasn't as vocal at all really about fighting Sean Porter. Now he's been more vocal, like, you know, shit, look, I finally get a chance to fight one of these so-called elite welterweights. Now one of them forced to fight me. You know what I'm saying? Talking real greasy. Then he would, you know, on the Teddy Atlas interview, he seemed very confident and very open and cool, calm, and collected about this fight. You know, he was very open about the lack of negotiation or the lack of success in the negotiation between PBC and Top Rank. He even talked about how he could understand how if PBC had all the belts, you know, why they wouldn't, you know, try to go get another fighter from another company and let them bring the belts over there, and vice versa. If Top Rank had all the belts at welterweight, Bob Arum wouldn't be jumping at the idea or the opportunity to make a fight with a PBC fighter. So he, you know, he was very candid in talking about that. And he seen, you know, he talked about this fight going to purse bid and what it would mean and different things like that. So Terrence Crawford to me seems like it's whatever with him. It's like shit, you know, shit, if it go to purse bid, you know, that's it's my mandatory. The fight has been mandated by the WBO. It is what it is. I want this fight because shit, it's there. I gotta fight him. This is gonna be a situation, in my opinion, that's really gonna reveal the truth to us. It's really gonna show who really wants this fight, who really just on that bullshit. It may be both guys that really want it. You know what I'm saying? Because though Sean Porter has been kind of quiet on this lately, you know, once it does go to purse bid and is there, you know, Terrence Crawford is the WBO champion. So if he, for whatever reason, said, man, fuck this, I don't want to fight Sean Porter, I'll let my belt go. It'll go vacant and Sean Porter can fight somebody else for the vacant title. Then that shows me that Terrence Crawford, he never wanted that smoke. But I don't see that happen in a way. Number one, I just don't see Terrence Crawford as a guy who would let his belt go up. Just like let somebody just take his motherfucking belt. I don't see, y'all can say what y'all want about Terrence Crawford, but I don't see Terrence Crawford as no type of dude like that. You feel me? I think he really, you know what I'm saying, he really a dog. You feel me? So if it came down to him losing his belt or having to fight anybody, I think he gonna fight him. You know, so, but this is gonna reveal that because he has to fight Sean Porter in order to keep his belt. He has to fight that mandatory fighter. Now for Sean Porter, even though he's the mandatory, he don't necessarily have to take this title shot opportunity. He can drop out that motherfucker and say, shit, fuck it, y'all. You seen what Ryan Garcia did. Ryan Garcia was the mandatory to fight Devin Haney. That fight was mandated by the WBC. Ryan Garcia said, fuck it, I don't want to fight Devin Haney. That's basically what he said here. Give somebody else that title opportunity. I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? So Sean Porter can do the same shit. You feel me? And that will reveal to us that he really never really wanted to fight Terrence Crawford. He never really wanted that smoke. This situation, this purse bid situation is gonna reveal a lot about the character of both guys. Who really want to fight the best? Now, I know that's kind of crazy even thinking that way about Sean Porter because he already been in the ring with the best. But his resume is one of the best at 147 when you talk about not only just his wins, but just the guys that he's been in the ring with, and think about the fact that every fight that he's in is competitive. So even if he lost, it was a razor thin, close margin of a L. You know what I'm saying? Like every fight is very, very close. You know, he done been in there with Kell Brook, Earl Spence, Danny Garcia, Yordenis Ugas, Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? Devin Alexander, he took the belt from Devin Alexander when he was on top, you know, when he was really doing his thing and in his prime. You know what I'm saying? Paulie Malignaggi, he been in there with everybody, you know what I'm saying? And Terrence Crawford, he's really the one that's unproven in this case, especially at welterweight. So if, you know, one would think that Sean Porter would be willing and ready to fight Terrence Crawford because he already been in there with the best. But again, you just got to look at how he been moving with this particular fight, and he just haven't been as enthusiastic as you would think he would be. So this is gonna reveal that. This is gonna show us do Sean Porter feel like he still got it to compete on this level, to compete with a guy of the caliber of Terrence Crawford, you know, or is he like, shit, fuck it, I'm past my prime, I can't get up for these big fights no more. I would rather just do my podcast and do the commentating, and I'm just not in that lane no more. Because you got to look at Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman don't seem like he got the hunger no more, even though physically he still seemed like he in good shape. We know Sean Porter in excellent shape. He always in shape. You know, he always come to fight. In his last fight, he blew Sebastian Formella out the water, won all 12 rounds, just dominated him. In this fight before that, he looked the best that I ever seen him in his entire career versus Errol Spence Jr. So, I mean, coming off his last two performances, Sean Porter looked good. So you would think that, oh, he's still in the game, but mentally is that hunger still there? You know what I'm saying? So that's a question. This situation is gonna reveal so much about Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter. So if this fight don't get done, it ain't gonna be because the money wasn't there. It ain't gonna be because of the business of boxing. It's gonna be because one of these dudes simply didn't want the fight. And you gonna know if Terrence Crawford vacates his title, or you gonna know if Sean Porter says, I don't want this title opportunity. It ain't gonna have shit to do with the business of boxing. This shit ain't gonna have nothing to do with what promoter didn't want this or what is mandated. You know what I'm saying? And if it go to purse bid, this shit gonna have to happen, or you gonna know who didn't want the fight. You gonna know who didn't want the fight. So, and if both guys agree to it, you know what I'm saying? If both guys step up to the plate, then hey, shit, we got a hell of a fight on our hands. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Did y'all watch the Terrence Crawford interview? What do y'all think about this whole purse bid situation? And do y'all see what I see as far as this purse bid and, you know, the way this fight is being rolled out, how this can reveal so much about the character of both guys, man? And what do y'all think is gonna be the outcome of this? Y'all let me know down in the comments, man. Contender regime, boxing, I'll holler at y'all boys, man.